Thank you, Mandy. Yes, we're slightly less optimistic about our forecast than we were. And I think the Red Sea and all the attacks and the fact that container shipping has had to divert and their higher costs are weighing on our sentiment with respect to what will happen to goods trade this year. And the prospect of maybe a wider spread of the conflict is also very concerning. You've also seen that the global GDP growth forecasts have been downgraded by the World Bank, the IMF. When this is done, it has an impact on trade because it hits aggregate demand all around. So yes, we're slightly less optimistic, but we still expect the numbers to be better than last year.
You said back in September that it was perhaps too early to say that globalisation is dead. What would be your reassessment now of where we stand on globalisation, especially considering we always hear, oh, we are de-risking our business, but maybe that's just a euphemism for actually we're now only going to deal with alliances that seem friendly to us, which to me seems a little bit more introverted and unilaterally protectionist.
I still maintain my stand. I think pronouncing the end of globalization may be a bit too soon. Perhaps globalization, what I mean is that globalization will still be there, but maybe not as we knew it before. What we are saying is that we need to reimagine globalization, a new type of globalization that tries to bring in those who were left out at the margins in the first round. And the prospects for that are quite strong because we want to build more resilient supply chains, don't we? And trade has largely been resilient, but we can make it even more so by deconcentrating some of those supply chains that have been concentrated in certain geographies and certain sectors. So and build more resilience for the world by just decentralizing this to those countries, and there are many where there's a good business environment to receive these supply chains. Developing world, so China plus 1, which is Vietnam, can be China plus 2, 3, 4, and 5. And those countries can be in South Asia, in Africa, and Latin America.
Might things completely change if we see a revenge term from Trump, former President Trump? Because he's already said that if he wins in 2024, he's already considering massive import tariffs. That could realign things all over again. Are you concerned?
Well, let's put it this way. 75% of world trade today is done on WTO terms. That is, all those tariffs and terms that have been agreed globally. That's massive, 75%. And that makes trade stable, predictable, and largely fair. So we maintain that unless you want a little bit of chaos, it would be very difficult to undermine that kind of approach, because that means any country can take whatever measure they like. So imagine if one country decides to put their tariffs, another one will decide to put even higher tariffs, and then another one will do the same. And this is the chaos that existed. Why, after the Second World War, this system was created. So I think we need to bear that in mind.